much if you miss out on it today. So we'll get into the agenda. There's lots to cover today. We're going to talk about our new hosting environment, which some of you may have been emailed about. We've got some exciting team news with new hires and some role changes, so I'll talk you through that in a second. Also, Matt's here to talk you through our product roadmap, so what we've been working on behind the scenes and what's next, and there's some really cool announcements that I'm excited about. And so he'll also cover that in the 3Cs section: client comms, calendar, our new launch, custom designs, and new content that we've released as well. We've also, just one thing I missed on that agenda, we've also got a marketing tip for you this month and some useful resources as well as that Q&A I mentioned. So we'll get into the very first section.
Cool.
So we have a new hosting environment. We've been emailing, well, all of you would have received an email from us by now from our support@bizinkonline.com email. So we're moving to a new hosting environment. It has a whole range of benefits to you. I'll let Matt talk you through what we're sort of doing there and why.
Cool. Thanks, Anthea, and hi everyone. Good to well, I can't see you, but good to be on a session with you all again. Look, hosting is like one of those things. It's invisible, but it's super important. And in short, you just need to move over to this new platform if you've not already. It's very it's got all the fancy things. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but it's faster, it's more secure, all the things you would want out of a hosting system. So if you've not already done that, please drop us a message. You will have received emails about that. If maybe they've gone into spam or something like that, but you need to reach out to us because we are going to be decommissioning the old server at the end of March. Now it's one of those things, like, to make the change, it's quite easy, but it's a bit techy. But we will guide you through all of that. So if things like DNS and domains just sound like a whole load of kind of hard work to you, we can really help you with that. And we've got the whole team focused on this because it's just a massive benefit for you to get the site over there. I mean, where our old hosting environment is on Amazon Web Services, it's the kind of most, all the kind of big SaaS apps are on there, but it just isn't, it just isn't where we've seen the future of the business going. So we've gone on to like a different environment. It's way better. And yeah, so drop us a message to support@bizinkonline.com is probably going to be the easiest way, I think. Anthea, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I see some people in the chat are asking if, where they're up to, they're not sure. So if that's the same for you, just flick us an email. Like Matt said, there's a bunch of us in there working on this project at the moment. It's the biggest thing for us at the moment. So we can definitely check where you're up to quite quickly. And if not, we can help you out with, even updating the DNS settings if you get stuck. So.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Next. Oh, sorry.
So that's all good. On to our team changes. So we've got a few little announcements here. Happy to announce on behalf of Sophie that she is starting a family. So she'll be going on maternity leave from mid-April, April 12th. So no need to stress just yet if you're building a website with her at the moment. And I guess alongside that, I'll be moving into her role in the customer success area. So we've got a few weeks yet to hand over that role, and I'll be meeting a few more of you. I've already started coming along to some of those meetings, and yeah, so I'll be running, building new websites alongside some of you, running your 3, 6, 12-month check-in type meetings, and I'll just be here if you have any questions or concerns about your website or your marketing. So we'll be in touch with you if that affects you directly, as in if you've got a site that's being built right now, we'll be in touch in the coming weeks. So yeah, really excited to be working with you all a bit closer, and Matt will be taking over most of what I was doing with our new customers too. I'm also
add in there, Sophie, that when Sophie, Anthea, we don't have to call you Sophie when you move into
That's good.
um, was, with Sophie being away, she's done such an awesome job, which I'm sure a lot of you listening will have worked with her and would agree with me. And I'm like, how do we fill this big hole? But it's sometimes, like, okay, actually, Anthea's been working with, you're our longest employee, been here since 2017, is that right?
Must be, yeah.
Long time. And will have worked with a lot of you anyway, so couldn't be a better person to step into Sophie's shoes while she goes and does that. And we wish her all the best. It's awesome news.
Yeah, we're all very excited. And another little team announcement, as you can see on screen, Bizink has actually hired my brother, Jaden Major. So again, he's been here since, I actually think it's July last year. So many of you may have already had some communications or meetings with him, as he's been managing our support department since then. He's also, this is starting to get a bit techie for me, but WordPress developer by trade, I guess. And I can see some people in the chat saying they've already spoken with him and he's helped them out already. So you may have a bit to do with him in the support side of things, but also some of our announcements today on the, what we've been working on behind the scenes that involve tech and development. Jaden's probably been involved in that too. So yeah, we're excited to expand our Australian team as well. So he's here in Brisbane as well.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think that, one of the things that attracted me to Jaden is he, in his spare time, reads security blogs about WordPress and stuff like that, which probably isn't my idea of relaxation, but I quite like that fact. And, the environment that we're in at the moment, without getting too political about things, is, that there's obviously a war going on in Ukraine. And one of the things that Russia is good at and has been doing is trying to hack people left, right, and center. So one of the things that you've got to be doing is be on top of that security, which is part of why we're moving to a different environment. We've added in a lot of security. We've added a new layer of security monitoring and blocking. We actually block all traffic to Russia. So if you've got any Russian clients, you probably need to let us know about that and we might be able to open it up. But we've been taking a bunch of measures like that. So I'm not trying to scaremonger or say there's any imminent risk or anything like that. But yeah, Jaden's focus on that as well as all the kind of like proactive stuff in building features and some of the cool stuff I'm going to show you. That's really important, the kind of world we're in 2023.
I can definitely vouch for that. He does definitely geek out on security podcasts and that sort of stuff, which tend to scare us. But yeah, it's awesome to have him as part of the team, and it's good to hear that some of you have already been working with him. So now we'll get on to our roadmap.
Cool. I'll take over this bit. So just want to tell you a little bit about what we've been working on. Probably not made that many announcements. We've kind of been in the last few months. We've been working away at some technical things, some content things, and what we want to be doing is kind of just getting a bit more of a change log, so we can tell you about these things we've been doing on a more regular basis. So the first one of these that I'm pretty excited about actually, and is what we're calling the client communications calendar. And maybe I'll give a bit of backstory to this. When the pandemic started in 2020, we put out something which some of you will have used, which was called the COVID-19 Weekly Digest. I think it was just the COVID Weekly Digest. Now, that's been one of the most popular things that we did. We were getting feedback from maybe some of you listening from your clients, right? They were saying, hey, this email that you're sending out, it's really cool. And we were getting that forward back to us. And I'm like, this is a good thing, right? We've hit on a good thing. Now, fast forward a few more months after that, no one ever wants to read the word COVID ever again. So we changed it up to the Weekly Digest, and I've continued that. So a lot of you will be taking advantage of that weekly email that we compile and send out. Now, during the pandemic, I put a post out on LinkedIn. I was like, this is awesome. For the first time, I've seen like accountants and bookkeepers really getting into marketing. It's only taken a pandemic to to do it. But the feedback I was getting, so people come back, it's not marketing, it's client communications. And I'm like, well, I call it marketing, you call it client communications, doesn't matter, right? But it got me thinking that that stuff is that real glue between you and your clients, and we should be doing more on that front. So we have a little bit, but this is something which has kind of evolved out of that to go, yeah, it's cool that we've got loads of small business education content and all of that, but there's that real kind of like nuts and bolts stuff that you do with clients, you know, that you want to communicate to them week to week, month to month. So we created this calendar really, and I'll show you what it is in just a second. We created this calendar, which is basically around that rhythm of client communications, which we see firms doing. And what it's trying to answer is the pain point that, you know, probably a lot of you have, and we get told about a lot, which is, where do I start when it comes to marketing? Like, where do I start? What should I send? And also the eternal pain point of not having enough time for marketing. So I'm just going to show you it. And this is basically what we're building out for Australia, Canada, New Zealand, like you can see on screen, UK and US. So what it is, we've categorized the messaging into 3 areas. So know, grow, and show. So know, well, what we mean there is like that need to know stuff that you got to tell clients about, key dates, compliance info, that kind of thing. So this isn't intended to replace the personal messages you'd send to somebody like, you need to pay this tax return on this date and here's how much you pay. You know, that's obviously something that you do individually for each client, but this is just more that kind of these are the key dates that you need to be aware of in this month, and that goes out as an email. And talk to us, you know, obviously not all key dates are relevant to all clients, but it's just general information. And the format they will take is they will be like, it's content on your website. And I'll show you how that's going to work in just a second. And it's also email templates that you could either send out on their own or put them as part of a newsletter that you might send monthly. And both those things are there. Then there's grow. So this is grow your own revenue. One of the other things that we've really been observing over the last little while, I mean, we're in a kind of difficult economic environment, you know, depends where you're listening from, but you know, there's either the threat of a recession, there is a recession, people are worried about a recession. So it's hard to grow a business right now, you know, that in terms of adding new clients, people are really wary about budgets and things like that. And, you know, that's just a fact of the environment that we're in. And so in those kind of times, it obviously pays to focus on your existing clients and see if there's things you can do to cross-sell, to upsell, maybe get more referrals from them and recommendations, that kind of thing. So that second column is basically email templates to send out to your clients. So you can see like these are the type of ones that we've got in there, different templates that you can use to get messages out to your clients, and like ones that we've done before with these that have been really popular, things like asking for referrals or asking for Google reviews, Facebook reviews. There's loads of options in there. So we're going to give you all of that stuff. Leanne, you mentioned I can see that national holidays and things like that. That's definitely something we will incorporate in there as well. I like that idea of fun days to celebrate. And one of the things about this calendar is this is just a template, right? You can take this and add in your own stuff. So that's awesome. We'll get that resource there and add some of that stuff in. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff that clients, it just keeps you top of mind with them. Then that promotional stuff, that can be, we see that being sent as like an email blast. We've created that for each of the months. Now, if you want to send like, you know, the one that we've put in January, you want to send it in March, it's completely up to you. You've got access to all of that stuff. About you asking about the spreadsheet, we're going to be sending this in the next couple of weeks. We'll give everyone access to this sheet and all the resources that are within it. And then I'm going to talk to you about how, if you want it done for you, we've also got some options for that. So this content won't just be in like a doc, like I've shown you. It will be in the back end of your website or your client hub, or if you're a content pack client, we will add it there as well. The final column, which, you know, again, it's all optional, right? But I see this as maybe the one that people would, you know, do the least maybe in terms of the three options. But these are basically like educational posts. And I guess what we've tried to do is pivot this slightly from the more, I guess, business advisory content that you probably know as well, for the things that are very much in line with financial literacy, the kind of things that, you know, you're obviously working with clients on. So, you know, like what's a profit and loss, and explaining that. You can see some of the other topics that are in there. Budgeting, you know, P&L. We've got guides to all the three main financial statements, that kind of thing. So again, you can tweak that to however you want, but we see those things as really valuable, of like that core information that clients should know about financial literacy that, you know, you'll know as well as me. A lot of business owners don't know that stuff, especially well. So like I say, early March, we're going to give access to everyone. You'll get this sheet. There'll be, for the 5 main countries that we work in: Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and US, there'll be content in there. If there's anyone listening from a country that's not one of those, let us know, and we'll see what we can do in terms of pulling something together. We definitely want to help you out. And we'll get that out to you. We will update this, like, so you know, we'll update it with new key dates and things like that. You know, they sometimes can be a bit last minute, like the ATO don't release theirs, I think, till quite close to the end of year, but we'll update that all for you. And we've also got some done for you options as well. So I'm just going to flip back into here, and what we've done is we've got these marketing packages. So we've got marketing services packages that some of you be using already. But what we wanted to do is have something that just covered off an entire year, based on that calendar. If you just wanted that done for you, so all the emails set up, the blogs, and depending on which package you're on, we'll also do some custom content. With all the packages, we would customize email blasts to the services and products that you sell. Higher packages will write custom blogs and do social media for you as well. And the idea really is that it'd be like having a marketing assistant working for you, but, you know, for like 10% or under of the cost of a salary of doing that. So they kind of sit alongside the marketing packages we've already got. But if you're interested in us doing it for you, we really want to we're going to open up 10 slots for clients to do these and then get some feedback, tweak them, and then make them generally available. And for those first 10 clients, we are happy to give quite a sizable discount. So it'll be $1,000 off if you pay annually, or $50 a month off if you pay monthly. So obviously that's like $600 annually. Because it's an annual calendar, there is a 12-month commitment to it. Those prices are in Australian dollars, but if you let us know, I mean, Anthony's just dropped in the expression of interest form, we will send you the pricing in your currency. So if you're interested, let us know. Even if you're sort of like on the fence with it, you know, put your details in there, and we can get a chat and chat through how it might work. And there's that big discount off those prices there. So yeah, you can knock $1,000 off the annual price, or $50 off that monthly price. But yeah, that form will give you, we can set up a call and chat through different, the different currencies and how it will work and all that kind of thing. And if you're a financial planner or a payroll firm, we've got a few clients in those industries and professions, then we'll be working on some calendars for you as well, so we haven't forgotten you. Cool. So yeah, let us know on that one. And for everyone, you'll be getting the calendar sent in the next couple of weeks. I'm really interested on your feedback on that as well. Oh, sorry, before I move on here, I want to show you some other content you've got coming to your Client Hub or website. So been a bit of a long time in the making. This we've got a product called BizPress. So that's going to sit in your website and have a lot of different modules of pulling in content that's automatically updated. And two of the things that we've created is an accounting and business glossary. And based on kind of those reasons that I was just talking about of having that content that's really in line with the stuff that you do for clients, not just small business education, but some of this stuff that, you know, I think of like amortization. I remember my first business and I was like in my early 20s. Oh, that's missing. My accountant started talking to me about amortization, and I was not confident enough to be like, I honestly don't know what that means. And you know, made me feel quite stupid actually. And now, you know, I'd be quite happy to admit that I didn't know what that was probably these days. But the lesson for me there is it's really cool to have this on your site so that, you know, you've got this point of clients can go to your site, see that as like the point of truth for this stuff that, you know, we all you know, we're all guilty of using jargon. You know, I know we do it with things like SEO and whatever, and, you know, ICP. We use these acronyms that, you know, people don't necessarily know. But we'll have the glossary there working on your site. So this will just be there. You can choose to have it on or off. It'll be there in the next couple of weeks. And we've also got a business glossary. So more of those kind of like less accounting terms, more just like general business terms. And then the other one that we've got coming up is key dates as well. So this is Australia. These are the key dates for Australia. And these will be just automatically there on your site, updated. To click on that, goes through, and you can see the key dates in there. So different state stuff and the federal ones as well. So Basia, the glossary, it will be country specific. So, you know, like the example I clicked on amortization, obviously that would be spelled with a Z or a Z if that was US. So it will be country specific, and the key dates are obviously as well. They will be country specific as well, with those 5 main countries that we work in, as I mentioned. As I said, can the key dates be pulled into a newsletter? That's how that calendar will work. What we're going to do is summarize each of the months, and then you'll be able to pull those into a newsletter or send them individually. I think most people will pull them into a newsletter. That's probably what I would recommend as part of a newsletter. So yeah, that's how we will do that. Andrew's asking, like, you know, new tax laws popping up all the time. There will be articles on these. So I know you're based in the States, Andrew, and it's probably, yeah, you get a bit more activity happening than some of the other countries that we work in. I guess we will try and do that, but like some of the kind of more yeah, I think that what we're going to do is like the real kind of, you know, the main filing deadlines and things like that. Some of the smaller stuff, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, like, on that one, but this will just be like the main kind of big dates, that kind of thing. So that's all coming out in the next couple of weeks. We'll be able to release that. We've tested it. We're just going to check some of the content, regionalize it, and then that'll be released into your site. All right, so if you're looking to update or refresh your website, I mean, there's a couple of options. anyone who is on what we call our standard design, which is where you've picked one of our kind of pre-designed layouts, and that we customize that with your content and all of that, then you can change design whenever you want for free. So we'll have some new designs coming soon with that. But what I wanted to highlight today was just custom design, because we really resourced up on the design and build side there, where we can do them a lot faster. In the past, it was something that we've always been able to do. It just took a little bit longer. It's a slightly hard nut to crack. We've got a really awesome kind of design resource now, and in terms of the build as well, we can get that done a lot quicker. So Anthea's going to drop a few recent custom design sites that we've done in the chat, and reasons why you might want to do a completely custom design. I think that it is more if you really want to get that real specific look, maybe some specific kind of functionality that is completely unique to your site. There's a little bit more input required from you to get to that place, of course. But yeah, you can see with the result there, particularly these sites that got, realty tax, a very kind of niche website there. We're able to achieve something that was, pretty unique. So that's something you're interested in. Just type custom design into the chat and we can reach out to you, or drop us an email at support@bizinkonline.com. It's probably a good one to chat through with one of us. And, we can show you how it might work, the different pricing options around that. Probably worth saying, we can take your existing content site and all of that stuff and like reskin it with the new design. So it's not like this huge project that you've got to run through and rewrite all of the content. It's more that we can apply that to your current site. So yeah, type custom design into the chat if you're interested. We'll reach out to you, or email support@bizinkonline.com, and then we can go from there. All right. So back to you, Anthea.
Yeah, so we've just mentioned custom design. We also offer custom content. So some of you may be aware of this, some of you, it may be a new offering for you. I believe that getting an experienced copywriter to help with the messaging that goes on your website and in your marketing and certain assets, I think it's a really worthwhile investment. I'm sure you'd back me up on that, Matt. And it's a big time saver as well. So we've created some custom content packages, and these were created after requests from many of you looking for certain items that, like outside our standard blogs, just on like cash flow and those sorts of things. So maybe it's probably ideal for people that do have a niche or something really specific. I know some of you might work with, like we've written blogs on, crypto tax and things like that. So something really specific that we don't have in our library at the moment. So typically these packages include like custom written blogs, custom written emails. We also have case studies, which is where we actually interview your client on a face-to-face Zoom call like this, and we chat about the benefits they've found of working with you, and then our writers go away and write that up, and that's a marketing asset that you can add to your website and use in your marketing for years to come. We can also do other sorts of projects like custom lead magnets, like ebooks and things like that. So I will send you a link to our custom content packages, so sort of the standard ones we've put together. But if you have a really specific request, again, just get in touch with us and we can start to chat about what that might be. Like I said, if it's a ebook or lead magnet you're wanting to create, we might be able to chat about something like that as well. So if you're interested, I'll send you these sorry, I'll just send it to everyone, not just Matt and I. I'll send you these custom content packages. They're in the chat now, so have a look at them. You should be able to see them in your current seat. Otherwise, again, just type into the chat or email support@bizinkonline.com and we can get you some custom content created.
Can I just add something in there, Anthea? Like over a decade of selling content feel like content is a kind of a boring word, right? Like, and you know, it can mean something and nothing. I think probably the other way I'd kind of like talk about this would just be that if you need help with some aspect of marketing, we can probably help you with that. And if we can't, I'll find you someone who can. So if either you want something really specific, like, hey, I want you to write me a blog about, I don't know, amortization, like I was just talking about. Like, I hope you don't, but like, if you do, we can do it. But if you like kind of unsure as well, like we're here to help. Isn't just our support isn't just, how do we fix up this thing in the back end of our website? The support is there to help your marketing success. And, I'm going to talk about some other ways we do that way beyond the kind of like the core stuff that you pay for. I want to show you that. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, if it doesn't really fit with what you're seeing there or whatever, like custom content is I guess it's a bit jargony, isn't it? We've got to give it a name, but what does it mean? It means how we can help you communicate with your clients, how we can help you communicate with prospects, with leads, and everything in between. So just reach out if there's anything we can help with, either by support email that Anthea just dropped in, or the chat in the back end of your website, or through our knowledge base as well. We're here to help. And one of the worst things I hear from clients is that they're doing something with another provider, it hasn't gone that well. I'm like, we could have done that for you. So if we can't do it, I'll find you someone good who can.
Awesome. And just because technology loves us, I think the site's just loading slow at the moment. So just email support, and that's probably the best way to get in touch with us at the moment. And we'll set up a chat, like Matt said, to chat about your situation individually, whether that's, just want some advice on marketing, some content, or refresh your site. Reach out.
Nice one. Cool.
Just speaking a little more about content for 1 minute. So we've released a few more pieces of like blogs and articles that so far this year. For those on our Plus package, you'll be getting our weekly digest. The most recent one just went this week, of course, yesterday on the 21st of February. So again, that's a continuation of that COVID digest that we started years ago that Matt mentioned at the start, and it's just evolved into timely updates, and it's probably our most popular thing. So that's still going in the back end. If that's not currently in your package and you're interested in it, again, just reach out and we can have a look at your packages too. And we've also released a range of blogs for you this year. You can probably start to see there's a mixture of some sort of more timely pieces in there, particularly the couple in there about inflation. There's some more targeted at our financial planning clients, or those that maybe network or partner with a financial planner, financial literacy, around a balance sheet, and some niche specific ones there as well around trades businesses. So I think that's a pretty good mix there of a bunch of our clients and the audiences they work with. So that's typically, those blogs are typically be found if you're on our pro package with us in terms of the website or Client Hub full bundle. Again, if you're not seeing that content and you'd like to, we can chat about your package. So just reach out.
Talk about inflation. I was in the supermarket last night and I saw two guys debating whether to buy a watermelon for $17.
Whoa, inflation has really hit New Zealand.
I'm not joking. I can't believe they're selling any of them. The question from Gilbert about the UK budget updates. So we really want to do that. What we're looking to do there is partner with somebody to do that, because we're not technical tax writers. And yeah, that's just got to be right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying our other content is wrong, but when you're writing about a general business topic, you can come at that from different angles. Where it comes to like a budget update, it's got to be really technically correct. So we're looking to partner with someone like that in the spirit of all this kind of client communication stuff that we're doing. We've got an awesome resource of small business content, and it's not like we won't continue to develop that, but we see that there's kind of like, things change, right? And we just want to make sure that we've got some of that more I don't necessarily like the word compliance, but a bit more of that kind of compliance type content. We're definitely looking to do that. So watch the space on that one. We're looking to find the right partner or a writer that can do that for us.
I'm just going to quickly paste in our content request form. So if you have something specific to request, feel free to use the form in the chat just then. I've pasted just then. And yeah, that'll go to our content team to review if there's something specific.
Sorry about LastPass, just jumping up there.
That's right.
We're moving off LastPass. I bet some of you are using it as well. But yeah, we're just about to move off that to a different provider because yeah, they're not got a great record on security, which is not great for a company that is all about security. So yeah, if you're using LastPass, I would advise you to maybe look at some other options because they got breached in January after a couple of other incidents. So check that out, and you might want to look at some other options and drop me a line if you want some recommendations. All right. We promise to share a marketing tip every month, and the one that I really recommend you do is Google My Business audit. So Google My Business is when you do a local search, and that listing comes up near the map, and it's it's obviously got your name, your website, and all of that. It's really important, right? Because like a lot of your searches are going to come locally. For most of our clients, that's the case. And if that's not optimized, it can have a real negative effect on your visibility on search. So what we've done is created this Google My Business audit. Anti's dropped it in the chat. Doesn't take very long to do, and it's going to really help you do that because it's not that hard to fix it up, but there's some like weird little, not so much technical, but kind of like quirky little things that you've got to do. Make sure that everything matches up with your website. So they're not hard, but if you get them wrong, they're not things you'd really think of. It can really penalize you in those local search listings. So I think it's like a low effort, high reward thing to do. And that scorecard will just give you some tips on what to do. And that scorecard is part of our playbook. So we've got this playbook here. I don't know if a lot of you will know about this, but just bear with me. Our site is loading quite slowly. I think there might be some updates happening right now. I'll go back off that. So basically, our playbook is where we just give away all of our marketing playbook. So when we did this, Heidi, I had a content was like, well, are you sure we should give away all of this stuff? Like, shouldn't we put this behind a paywall? And for those of you who've been with Bizink for a long time, I'm all about us trying to give away as much as we can to help you succeed with marketing. And that's what the playbook is basically, it's all of our, it's how we recommend you market your firm from kind of like all the stages of like attracting leads, engaging them, converting them, and then marketing to existing clients. So there's a whole load of resources in there to help you grow. The link is in there. I think, yeah, it's just going a little bit slowly. I think there might be some updates happening to the site, but that'll work pretty soon. Check that out. It's all free and available to you. So yeah, definitely worth a look.
Awesome. So in a minute, we'll stick around. If there's any questions, send them through now in the chat so that Matt and I can answer them in just a minute. I just wanted to quickly touch base with a few of you just to remind you on how you can get in touch with us and how, like, the best ways to get to support. So we do have a knowledge base, support.bizinkonline.com. I'll send you a link for that in a sec as well. So that's great if you can just search for an answer there, like maybe how to add a team member to your website and things like that. Now, of course, if you can't find the answer there, or yours is just a bit different, feel free to send us a message in some other ways. So just below that, we've got two other options. You have live chat in the back end of your sites, or you can also reach us in the live chat on Bizink's website. Just ask you to leave us some contact details. Ideally, your email, your name, even your business name and URL will really just help us to, yeah, sort your issue out a bit quicker. And of course, if we aren't able to chat right then and there during, sort of standard business hours, then we know who it is that we can get back to as well. And anytime you can raise a ticket with us in our support department by emailing support@bizinkonline.com. I will send you a link to an article we've got on how to log a great support ticket, which will tell you, even things to put in your subject line and stuff like that, which just really helps us triage and, solve your issue quicker. So appreciate your help in that as well, and email us anytime, support@bizinkonline.com, about any of the things we've spoken about in today's webinar too. So I think that pretty much wraps up the session today. We'll stick around for a couple more minutes in case anyone has any questions. I'll just open up. We did just have one come through the Q&A when we were chatting about the calendar mat, and they're just asking, do we need to host our website with you guys? And I believe that's in relation to getting the calendar.
No.
Yep. So,
No, the calendar will be, we're just going to look, we're going to just release it as a spreadsheet, right? Like, I mean, hopefully you guys like spreadsheets, but that, sometimes that, we could do something all polished up, but the reality is if we release it as this like Google Doc like this, you'll all have access to it. We can update it in the cloud, and the updates go out, and we can add other resources and things like that. So we'll give that free to everybody, and it will link off to content in the relevant places. So yeah, we'll do it that way, and then I think that's going to work well. We're happy to get feedback on that, but that's how we're seeing the best way to do it.
Yeah. It's been great to see your feedback already, like Leanne sending through some examples of other dates we could add. So if you have any of those sorts of suggestions, we'd love to hear it, whether that's now in the chat or again via support. But feel free to use that form to register your interest anyway, and then you're registered as potentially one of the 10 that can access the discount as well. So appreciate your feedback on all of our new features, and particularly that one we're looking to craft with you as we release it to everyone else.
Hayden, LastPass alternatives, the one we've gone with is 1Password, and did a bit of research, but ultimately my partner works for basically a Silicon Valley company, which must be one of the most secure companies in the world, and they recommend it. So it's like, they've done the research, it's good enough for me. So we've gone with 1Password, and that's the one that they internally recommend. So that was my research by proxy, was is to go with that, because they wouldn't be recommending it if it wasn't really good.
I've just set a link to that. Everyone should see the link to 1Password if you have the Q&A open. Otherwise, we do also partner with Practice Protect, who do security for accountants. If you're, I'd highly recommend everyone go speak to them if you haven't already. I can send you a link to their website and introduce you directly to them if you'd like to look a bit more about security for your firm.
That's a good point, actually. Like, should have thought of that. Really, they're one of our really key partners. But the good thing about that, it's built just for accounting and bookkeeping firms, so they know that inside out, and it's kind of built around giving access to people in your team who you might not want to have full access to other things. So they log in through Practice Protect, and the client accounting software that you use will be in there, so that that they don't have, like, they only have access to Practice Protect, and all the other apps you use, so you can cut their access off with like one click if there's any problem. So yeah, check that out.
Cool. I don't see any other questions coming in just yet. As I've said a few times, feel free to reach out if there's anything that comes up afterwards. Otherwise, we'll definitely be in touch with the recording and resources. And thank you all for coming along today live. It's been a good session.
Thanks, everyone.
See you all later. Thank you.